everybody, got a treat for you today. This story is all about a dragon. I know I love stories about dragons, I hope you do too. This one is called the Reluctant Dragon. That's a tricky word. Reluctant means when you're not very excited to do something and you don't really want to do it. So we'll find out why the dragon in this story was a reluctant dragon. Harold's dad rushed into the house. You won't believe it, he panted. There's a dragon up in the hills. Harold gasped. He'd never seen a dragon before. What was it like? He asked eagerly. So he was eager. Eager is like the opposite of reluctant. Did it breathe fire? How tall was it? All I know is that it was huge and it was horrible, replied his father, still trembling. I didn't stay around to measure it. Harold decided to go and look himself. The next day he set off up the hill. Spotting a puff of smoke in the distance, he followed it until he reached the cave. I wonder why he followed a puff of smoke. I know, it might be because dragons usually breathe fire, so he was thinking that smoke might lead him to the dragon. Sitting casually outside was a big green dragon who didn't look scary in the least. He wasn't a scary dragon. Hello, said Harold. Let's see the dragon. There's the dragon. He doesn't look scary, does he? A friendly face at last, said the dragon. I've been getting very lonely up here. Harold spent all day chatting with his new friend. The dragon told him stories of long ago when fire-breathing dragons terrorised the land. So long ago there were dragons that were frightening, but this one isn't. Back then, brave knights battled dragons to keep the locals safe. But I'm not frightening, and I'm not interested in fighting, said the dragon. I like a quiet life. Harold couldn't wait to tell everyone about the dragon, but he soon wished he hadn't. When the villagers heard there was a dragon nearby, they went crazy. We'll be burned in our beds, they cried. Someone call for a dragon slayer. A dragon slayer is somebody who might kill the dragon. Look, here's a picture of somebody. This person is a dragon slayer. That's what the dragon was telling Harold about. That used to happen years ago. Soon afterwards, George, the dragon killer, rode into the village, brandishing his spear. He's showing off his spear, which is his weapon. Oh dear. And it's not even a nasty dragon, is it? It's a friendly dragon. Oh dear, what's going to happen? I hear you need my help, the knight said to Harold. Someone told me there's a dangerous fire-breathing dragon up in the hills. He's not dangerous, said Harold. In fact, he's not the least bit interested in fighting anyone. Harold led George to the dragon's cave. What a perfect spot for a fight, George said, as the dragon lumbered towards them. Lumbering is when he's sort of plodding along. He's quite a heavy dragon. Look, there's George with his spear, which was his weapon, ready to fight the dragon. We know the dragon doesn't want to fight though, does he? But I don't want to fight, wailed the dragon. He frowned at George. Those villagers won't leave you in peace until we do, said George, polishing his spear. I have an idea, said Harold with a grin. He told George and the dragon his plan. Then he ran down to the village. George will fight the dragon tomorrow, he announced in a loud voice. The villagers cheered. They were relieved to think that the dragon would go away. And when the dragon's dead, we'll have a feast to celebrate, they declared. The next morning, a huge crowd gathered outside the dragon's cave. There was a deafening roar, and the dragon burst out, flames pouring from his nostrils. Hang on a minute. I thought this wasn't a scary dragon, but now he's being scary. The crowd trembled. "Never fear, George is here," cried the knight, galloping straight for the dragon on his trusty horse. There's the dragon. He doesn't look like that friendly dragon anymore, does he? Oh, I wonder if could this have been Harold's plan, I wonder? George's spear missed the dragon by a whisker. Oh, it was so close. He turned and he charged again. This time the pair collided, they crashed together, in a cloud of dust. There were screams and shouts, but no one could see what was actually happening because of all the dust. Finally, the dust settled, and George stood victorious. That means he had the victory. He was the winner. "The dragon is beaten," he yelled. "Let's kill it," shouted one of the villagers. "No," said George firmly. "I think he's learned his lesson," he added, giving Harold a sly wink. That was a sneaky wink. It must be part of a sneaky plan. The boys' plan, only to pretend to fight, had worked. So actually they weren't having a proper fight. They were pretending to have a fight. So the villagers agreed to let the dragon live. They even invited him to join in their celebrations. Can you imagine having a dragon for dinner? Oh, hop up, the dragon said to Harold, and he gave him a ride as he followed the villagers, marching off to enjoy a glorious feast. Wow, that was fun, wasn't it? So after all, that dragon wasn't scary, but the villagers thought it might be. But in the end, everybody was happy. The dragon could live happily ever after, and so could the people. Hopefully I'll read you another story again from my big book here. It's a good job this one's got 100 stories in, so it should keep us going for a while. Join me again soon. Bye-bye.